शंकरा शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरा शिव शंभो हर शंभो शिव शिव हर शंभो शिव शंभो हर शंभो शिव शिव हर शंभो शिव शंभो हर शंभो शिव शंभो हर शंभो शंभो शंकर साईशा शंभो शंकर साईशा शंभो हर शंभो शिव शंभो हर शंभो शंभो शंकर साईशा शंकर साईशा शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरा शिव शंभो हर शंभो शिव शिव हर शंभो शिव शंभो हर शंभो शंभो शंकर साईशा शिव शंभो हर शंभो शंभो शंकर साईशा शंकर साईशा शंकर 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 शंभो शंकरा
Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna Hare
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 Raghupati Raghava Rama Hare
Raghupati Raghava Rama Hare
Raghupati Raghava Rama Hare
Raghupati Raghava Rama Hare
Rajiva Lochana Shama Hare
Rajiva Lochana Shyama Hare
Rajiva Lochana Shama Hare
Rajiva Lochana Shyama Hare
Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna 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 Hare
Purishwar Sai Hare
Tripureshwar Sai
Purishwar Sai Hare
Tripureshwar Sai
Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna Hare
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 Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna Hare Raghupati Raghava Rama Hare Rajiva Lochana Shama Hare Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna Hare Purishwar Sai Hare Purishwar Sai Hare Sai Ram Hare Sai Krishna Hare
Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Sita Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Sita Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Sita Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Ram Hare Jaya Sita Ram Hare Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Radha Krishna Hare Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Krishna Hare Jaya Radha Krishna Hare Jaya Krishna साई बाबा हरे
जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे
जय साई हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे
जय साई हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे
जय राम हरे जय राम हरे जय सीता राम हरे
राम हरे जय राम हरे जय सीता राम हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे जय राधा कृष्ण हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे जय साई हरे जय साई बाबा हरे जय राम हरे जय सीता राम हरे
घनश्यामा सुंदरा बंसीधर प्रभु कृष्ण कन्हैया तुम हो मेरे माँ बाप भैया सत्य साईश्वरा
सत्य साईश्वरा
ईश्वरा सत्य साईश्वरा
सत्य साईश्वरा
घनश्यामा सुंदरा
घनश्यामा
सुंदरा
नारायण
हर हरि रूपा नारायण
वैकुंठवासा नमो नारायण
वैकुंठवासा नमो नारायण
वैदेहि मोहन नारायण
वैदेहि मोहन नारायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि
नारायण वेद परायण
वेद परायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
नारायण हरि
नारायण वेद परायण
वेद परायण
नारायण वेद परायण
वेद परायण
नारायण हरि नारायण
आदित्याय विद्महे सहस्रकिरणाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्य प्रचोदयात्. Offering our reverential pranams to Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, elders and guests, brothers and sisters seated here, Sai Ram and good morning. On this very sacred and auspicious morning, we wish everyone a very happy Sankranti, Pongal, Bihu and Lori. This harvest festival is our thanksgiving. As India is predominantly rooted in agrarian traditions, on this day we offer our deep gratitude to Bhagwan Surya Narayan, the source of all light and life, and to Mother Nature for blessing us in abundance. Therefore, this is an important festival observed across the Indian subcontinent, from Punjab in the north, Gujarat in the west, Assam in the east to Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu in the south. As the sun begins its northward journey, marking the end of winter, this Uttarayana is a significant period conducive for all new beginnings, including spiritual practices. Swami often explains that our minds too must strive to progress upwards or Godwards, relinquishing the old and dreary habits that no longer serve us. Once again, extending our best wishes, we commence today's program with invocation by students chanting verses from the Surya Upanishad.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितैर्यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भूर्भुवः प्रत्यक्षं कर्म कर्तासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं विष्णुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं रुद्रोऽसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं मृगसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं यजुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं सामासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षमथर्वासि त्वमेव सर्वं छन्दोसि आदित्यात् वायुर्जायते आदित्यात् भूमिर्जायते आदित्यादापो जायन्ते आदित्यात् ज्योतिर्जायते आदित्यात् व्योमदिशो जायन्ते आदित्यात् देवा जायन्ते आदित्यात् वेदा जायन्ते आदित्यो वा एष एतन्मण्डलं तपति असावादित्यो ब्रह्मा आदित्याय विद्महे सहस्रकिरणाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्यः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
Before we pray to Sadhguru to bless us with his benedictory message, we request Dr. B. N. Narasimurthy ji, Chairman, Prashanti Bal Mandira Trust, and Chief Mentor, Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam Group of Institutions, to address us, please.
Offering our loving pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, brothers and sisters, very dear students, boys and girls. On this auspicious morning, I would like to share with you a very beautiful poem composed by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba on the Sankranti festival. All of us know that Bhagavan Baba was a poet in his own right. He loved nature, and Sadhguru is no different. Whenever he is in the midst of pristine nature, he composes poems. We already have, I have at least 25 poems in English, and all of them translated into Kannada. And I am very glad to convey to you that Sadhguru has permitted us to publish one poem in each of the monthly issues of Amrita Vahini, both English and Kannada, beginning from this month, January. And this was a poem composed by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba on the Sankranti festival. Saraswalaraina Sankranti Panduga Vache. This is the last line of this poem. It means that the charming damsel of the Sankranti festival has come today. See, that is the last line. First I read it out for the Telugu people or people who know Telugu, and then translate it into English. It captures the beauty of the Sankranti festival. Dinakarudu Shantudagitoche, and this particular poem Baba chanted without exception on every Sankranti morning. Many times I have translated this into English on the stage. Every Sankranti festival he will recite this poem, sing this poem in his very mellifluous voice. Please forgive my voice. Dinakaradu Shantudai Toche, Dinumalantayu Kurchalayeno, Cheli Gali Churuku Heche, Polamulan Rei Guddi Vennalalona, Kuppala Nurchu Kapulu Gontuletti, Padumalan Pado Todigiri, Pachapуваlu, Janta Chelaku Mutyala Saralu Gurchi, Banti Puvula, Mukumalanta Vippe, Mana Mukamambula, Danya Sampadala Nilpe, Sarsura Sankranti Panduga Vache. This is the Telugu poem. It's a very beautiful poem in Telugu. All Telugu people who know Telugu would have understood this. Now the English translation. The sun appears peaceful. The days have become shorter. The cool breeze adds to the winter cold. The farmers who gather their harvest in the fields window. The green flowers look like pearl garlands in the jover fields. The marigold buds blossom fully. The radiance of joy of harvest shines on our faces. Thus came the charming damsel of Sankranti. That is the English translation. Sankranti means Samyak Kranti. Samyak means good. Sankranti means a very swift. Kranti means a swift revolution. It's a good, swift revolution. It's a turning point in the year when the sun god turned towards the north. And this is a very auspicious moment. And our traditions are so rich, so holy, so glorious, that this Sankranti festival was celebrated even during the times of Mahabharata, more than 5,000 years ago. There are many incidents. And one is Bhishma Pitamaha, the grandsire of the Kuru dynasty. He was lying on a bed of arrows for a few months, waiting to give up his life because he was an Icha Marani, means he was blessed with the boon that he could choose to die whenever he wanted. And he waited for 3 months on the battlefield, on a bed of arrows, waiting for the moment of Sankranti to arrive. He wanted to give up his life at this point of time. And also Baba would often recall on this day an incident that happened in the palace of the Pandavas when Krishna was their honored guest. It seems Krishna was eating sugarcane because this season sugarcane is in abundance. And he was himself trying to cut the sugarcane, it seems. And it so happened that he cut his finger and the finger started bleeding. And Krishna had come with his Mahishis, queens also, as guests of honor on that day to the Pandavas' palace in Indraprastha. And Rukmini ran to get some kind of bandage. But Draupadi, who was there, immediately she was wearing a new sari on the festival. She tore the sari, took a piece of her sari and tied a bandage around the finger of Krishna. And Krishna was very pleased. By the time Rukmini came back with the bandage cloth, already there was a bandage tied. And Krishna blessed Draupadi, whom he treated as his own sister, so very profusely. And what saved her in the court of the Kauravas when she was being disrobed and humiliated was this piece of sari, which came back to her in such an abundance that Dushyasana could not disrobe her, and he fell down, he collapsed, tired. So Baba would often remind us, we do very little for God, very little for any divine personality like Krishna or Baba or even Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. It comes back to us in times of our need in abundance. And this Kranti, this change, this revolution that has to happen now is very important. Martin Luther King, a few decades ago, said, we live in an age of guided missiles and misguided men. Our scientific power has run over our spiritual power. See, those days, only men were misguided. Today, many leaders of nations are misguided. Many presidents are misguided. And it is posing an existential problem to the whole planet. Anything can be endangered. Anything can happen anytime. One president kills 2,000 people who are protesting against something in his own country, asks his soldiers to fire on them. Another president abducts the president of another helpless nation. Conflicts, strife, we see everywhere. In places like Gaza, children die by hundreds every month. Children, just because of starvation. And in such a situation, really a revolution is required, but that revolution has to be a spiritual revolution. A revolution in the hearts of men. A revolution which makes men more selfless. The change has to happen. Like the sun god, till today, he was moving towards the south and now he's changing his direction. Means he is reversing his direction. Men will have to change their direction from selfishness to selflessness, from materialism to spirituality. And nations will have to change. Otherwise, definitely the planet is faced with a very, very difficult, dangerous problem. And the nation should be ruled on a spiritual basis. Human beings should lead their lives on a spiritual basis. And only the philosophy that can save the planet today is what is being propagated by Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, inspired by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, actionable compassion. Not just mere compassion, actionable compassion that is required. And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world, one family, based on the spiritual oneness. Because a divine being knows that this universe that we see is nothing but an ocean of pure consciousness. Once anyone loses the individuality, he melts into universal consciousness. That alone exists and nothing else. We are one. The existence is only one. Therefore, there is only one family. And therefore, there is only one world, one family. And that is the philosophy which needs to be propagated and practiced. And I appeal to our students who have a big role to play in this. You have to assimilate this philosophy into your lives on a spiritual basis and spread it everywhere. Not only students, every one of us has this responsibility, being the disciples, being the students, being the devotees, being the followers of Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. And it is only this philosophy which was promoted both by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, which can save the humanity. See, that is why an American philosopher, Dr. Stephen Rupenthal, declared, that was immediately after the Second World War, which had seen so much of annihilation. Every second for 4 years, one young man was killed in the continent of Europe. Can you imagine this? For 4 years continuously, every second one young man was killed in Europe during the Second World War. And looking at that, he said, in this world filled with despair and violence, India stands for peace and hope. The fertile spiritual soil of India will bring forth a spiritual figure who will lead mankind into love, into peace, into mutual caring and sharing. And that is how we are going to save the planet. That's what he said. And now, when anything can happen at any time, Third World War can happen any time. The way things are moving, this is the one and the only way. The spiritual figure that the Mother India brought forth was Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, whose spiritual son, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, is taking his legacy, his mission forward. With these words, I conclude and pray to Sadguru for his benedictory Sankranti message. Thank you very much. Sai Ram to you.
हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषणपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. The sage in the Isha Upanishad prays to the sun god, Pushana. And what does he pray? He prays as if the golden truth, the shining truth has been kept inside a golden vessel with a lid on it, with a cover on it, and I am unable to have that. So, O Lord, Sun, do bless me by opening this lid and revealing the content of that truth to me, because I am a follower of truth and dharma, satya and dharma. That is my deservedness. Why does he pray to the sun god and not to the moon god or not to the air or the water or the wind or any other god? Because in our culture or in any cultures of the world, light is considered as divinity. That is why we say tamasoma jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light. When I was in Italy, they said the idea of light is the idea of God. Lucia, they say, the light. In every culture, anything that is shining, bright and luminous, it's considered as something sacred, something higher, something supreme. And if you look around, the brightest star in the sky for us who belong to this galaxy is the sun. And the sun represents divinity from the point of view of the luminosity that it has. That is why they chanted the mantram also, that he is Sahasra Kiranaya. He is the one who is endowed with thousands of rays of light. He is Bhaskaraya, the one who illumines everything, the one who makes everything known. That is why the Rishi says, as if something is hidden in a golden pot, a golden vessel, and tightly covered. Like in the darkness, we cannot see anything. It's right in front of the eyes, but we cannot see it because of the darkness, as if it is tightly covered and hidden from us. So when the sun's rays shine, the thing reveals itself to us. We can see things clearly. Likewise, as if he has opened the lid and revealed the content of that inaccessible pot. Likewise, the God Son, or the way we think of Son as a divine being, he reveals things of the world to us. And in the light alone, we are able to recognize things as they are. This may not apply to the modern world where the electricity is there and you can still see in the dark. But the idea of darkness is not the external darkness, it is the internal darkness that we are talking about. The truth of God is hidden right within our hearts. right within us, that we are divine. In all our Upanishads, all the scriptures declare that you are divine. You are none other than divine. In fact, the only thing that you truly are is divine. Yet we are unable to access that. We are unable to experience that, as if it has been made inaccessible, hidden inside a tightly capped vessel. And so we seek help of somebody who can open that for us and reveal the content to us. So when we see things in the brightness of the sun, when the darkness disappears, we are able to recognize each other correctly. We are able to see things correctly. There is no confusion. There is no ignorance left. Like it happens in the external world, the same divinity, when it shines within, it reveals the content of our own selves. And what are we made of? What is the content within? Divinity only. And that is why this prayer is symbolically made to the sun god. So Sankranti or Lodi or Pongal, though it is a harvest festival, and harvest was important, isn't it? You worked hard all year, and finally it's time for you to reap the harvest and enjoy the fruits of it. And one source of all these joys is sun, because without sun there won't be any harvest. And so we looked up and we prayed and we thought of sun as a god who had helped us. And so on the harvest festival we pray, we worship, we pay our obeisances and gratitude to sun. What is beautiful about our culture is all these cultures, the traditional native cultures which are mostly agrarian, are gratitude. They carry tremendous gratitude for everyone and everything that made them what they are today. If you get a good harvest, you thank the Mother Earth, you thank the cloud, the rain, and the sun, and all the people who helped that happen. And that is why when Pongal Day is celebrated, Pongal in South, what we do, we make Pongal. Pongal is a dish. It's a rice and dal dish, because the fresh harvest that has come, you put it in a pot, you cook it, and you allow it to overflow. And overflow to where? It should overflow and fall into the fire that helped us cook the food in the first place. And that's again a way of telling our thanks, expressing our gratitude to the fire which helped cook that food. In every aspect of our culture, gratitude was embedded. It was an integral part of our all-day life and living. Anybody did any little help to us, we were grateful. And from the beginning we were taught, be grateful to everything and everyone who has helped us become who we are. Without this nature, without the elements of the nature, we wouldn't be able to have our meal, our food, or anything that we want to do in life. It is not possible. But science simply considers all these as just environment or nature or the elements. It does not see anything beyond that. It only sees as matter or some energy. But our spiritual people thought of these also as representations of a higher divine power, which expresses itself through the elements of the nature. And do you know why it is called as divine? Because only divine is capable of doing things selflessly. Anything that is selfish is a human creation. The only way one can be selfless is when one is totally divine. So when you see so much of selflessness around you, in the sun that burns itself away, you may say it's after all a star, that's what it's supposed to do. But we are benefiting from its burning. So we personify that as a sacrifice being made by some higher being who is burning himself away for the betterment of all and does not request or ask or expect anything in return. The wind that blows, the oxygen that it carries, we breathe. And that is how we survive. We don't pay for it. It's given to us to live, to thrive, to evolve, to grow. The rivers that flow, they carry water, so essential for our living. We are made of water. We are 70% water. And if they don't carry the water or the clouds don't bring the rains, we cannot live. So we look up to them and we thank them. It's you who are making us live and grow. The earth, we call it the Mother Earth, because like a mother which bears everything. Mother Earth bears us. We do everything to it. We tear it open, we plow on it, we play on it, we sow, we grow, We dirty it also. But still the Mother Earth accepts everything. Only a mother can do that. That's why the earth has been personified as a motherly figure. It's not poetry. It's not philosophy. It's an experiential reality for us Indians. That everything that we see around is alive. Everything is full of that divinity, which is so selfless, because the only nature of divine is selfless love. And somebody is doing something for you selflessly, they have to be divine, because that inspiration with which they do things selflessly is a divine inspiration. Human inspiration is always selfish. It always asks, what's in it for me? A divine inspiration does not ask such questions. So when you look at the sun, we think of the divine. We think of that supreme divinity which is so selfless, which is so kind, which is so generous and compassionate, and which is the reason why we are able to do what we are able to do today. And that is why we express our gratitude and thanks to that invisible divinity which is hiding behind all that which is visible. So that is the idea of these festivals. These festivals were there not simply to have a holiday, but to bring us back to that track of spirituality. Because in our daily life, we get very occupied by all that we have to do. There are achievements to be made, there are things to be gained, there are things to be done, and we lose the track of the sight of our life's path, a journey. And these are the milestones during which we pause for a moment, look around, look within, and then realize how much everyone has done for us. And then we take a moment to give thanks. Like Lakshmi said, this is India's Thanksgiving, where we take the first harvest and offer it to God. Because everything first has to go to God. And that is the idea of these festivals. They are very intelligently placed within our calendar. You keep getting a lot of these festivals. In fact, India is full of festivals. Other countries, maybe 1, 2, maximum 3 festivals you will have. India, every year, every day, one Ekadashi, new festival. Paurnami, another festival. Amavasya, another festival. You just are never done with the festivals in India. Why? Because all those are opportunities for us to return to that idea that we are being taken care of, blessed by so many things and so many people in so many ways, that we have to express our gratitude to them, because ingratitude is a great sin. Unfortunately, with the passage of time, as the man achieved many things, apparently through the intellect and other abilities, man started thinking, it's all because of me, I did it all. And I didn't need anybody else, it's all my doing. And then got into this terrible disease of ingratitude. And that made him egoistic, and that ego has led to all the wrongs in the world. But when you are aware of all the help that you receive, how can you develop ego? Because you are what you are because of so many people, so many things, visible, invisible. So you can never develop any ego. You will always be grateful. And that gratitude keeps your ego down. And once ego is less, all good things happen. What disasters, what problems Narasimhamurthy was talking about a while ago, it's all born of ego. And ego comes in many disguises. It may be called as patriotism sometimes. But it's simply wanting to rule the place. And you will dub it as good for the country. Sometimes ego comes as good for the family, so it should be done. Sometimes ego comes as good for me, so it should be done. That is the very straightforward ego, we all know that. But sometimes it disguises itself in saying, I am doing good to others. But that good also is ego. Because you are doing, you think you are doing. That's where the ego comes. So the whole game of life is to overcome this idea of I and mine, born of ego. I was with some people just a while ago, and I was telling them, only ignorant people can afford to be arrogant. The wise one can never be arrogant. That's why humility is the hallmark of greatness. Wise people can never be arrogant because they know that they are who they are because of so many people, known and unknown. And they can, while thank the known people, there are so many unknowns whom you cannot thank. Like the sun and the air and the water and the earth and the farmers and so many other people who contribute to our lives. It's because of them that we are able to do what we are able to do. So we have to be grateful. So I think one message of Sankranti that really comes is the message of gratitude. To be grateful for everything that is given to us. Knowingly, unknowingly, we receive so much from everyone. Be grateful. Because once you are grateful, you will not have ego. Once you have no ego, you will have no ignorance. Because the divinity will shine forth. Ego is the darkness. That has to be dispelled. And then once the ego goes, divinity shines forth. It is like the soot that covers the lamp. Even though the light is burning inside, you can't see any. Because the dark soot has covered the lampshade. It looks dark. Likewise. So light and sun and divinity, all are thought of as one in our culture. So we look up to sun every morning, we do Surya Namaskar, we do prayers to sun. Of course, it gives us a lot of vitamin D, which most of us are lacking nowadays. The biggest deficiency in the world is vitamin D. I said that is the one that is available without paying a rupee. All other vitamins you have to at least work for. You have to buy some vegetables, eat a fruit, or do some other things to get that, or buy supplements. But vitamin D3 is available in plenty from the sun, which is very important for our growth. But most of the people are deficient, it seems. Why are they deficient? Because sun has stopped producing vitamin D3. No, sun is producing the same amount and equally for all. He's not interested in Africa, not interested in Asia. No, it's everybody. Issue is we don't use it. Likewise, divinity is available to all equally. It is not discriminatory. It is available to all. It is for up to us to utilize the opportunity. And when do you utilize the opportunity the best? When you have no ego. When you don't think that I don't need anybody, I can do it myself. That foolish ego is what does not allow us to experience the divinity within and without. So we pray to God. We are incapable of it. Please, like a small kid, if there is a box of chocolate, is unable to open the box of chocolate. It's too tight. What does he do? He goes to somebody elder, to the father or the mother saying, can you open this lid for me so that I can enjoy the chocolates which are within. Chocolates are there, but the child is unable to enjoy. Why? Because it is sealed within the box and the lid is so tight that with its strength it cannot open. Likewise, the Rishi of the Isha Upanishad prays, I know the divinity is right here in my heart, but I am unable to open it. It's so tight, with my ego it is airtight. I am unable to open this lid and see and experience my divinity. Oh God, would you help me please? Like a father or a mother who opens the box for the child, the Rishi prays, please open this box of divinity for me so that I can enjoy the chocolate of that bliss and sweetness. So the Rishi surrenders and prays. And first thing in the dark of the night, when the dark of the night is over, the first thing he looks up and sees is the sun. And so he thinks sun is the divine father, the divine mother, which has come to help me to see things properly. So he prays, please open this box for me and reveal the hidden divinity which is within me. And that is the prayer that he makes. Of course, it is symbolic. You should not take it literally. But it is symbolic prayer. And because all Upanishads were poetry, or they are philosophies, like he said, Bhagavan's poetry is there. Not that Sankranti is a damsel. If somebody says, no, Sankranti means some lady whose name is Sankranti will come on this day. If you read the poem, it sounds like that. But that's not how it works. Likewise, sun is the God who comes. He is every day there, but Sankranti is one moment when the winters are getting over. Slowly the spring season is coming. The harvest has come. It is a moment of great joy. Now you can sell the harvest, get some money. With that you'll buy new clothes. You will repair your houses or you build a new one. You will get marriages going, get your Annaprashna, Upanayanam, so many other samskaras going. All these gifts come from Sankranti. So Sankranti was a moment in time to pause and look at everybody around, everything around which has helped us reach this place. So gratitude is the message of Sankranti, and all festivals are mainly meant to express our gratitude to God. And this festival is special because as an agrarian economy, we always had to depend on agriculture. And that agriculture was our source of sustenance. And sun was the reason why agriculture happened. Therefore, we always looked up to sun. Like that, we worship river, we worship the mountains, we worship the clouds, the forests, the trees, the animals, the birds, everything we worship in India. Why? Because we know, because of all of them we are living. And if they are not there, we won't be able to live. That is the idea of Sankranti. So be grateful, that is the idea. Be grateful always. There are things which you have received from others and you can thank them directly, but there are so many who are working. Imagine a soldier at the border. Is he not working for you and me? We may not recognize it because it's not happening on a daily basis that you meet him. But who is guarding our borders? He is also working for us. So in silence of our heart, we also express our gratitude to him. So also a cleaner who picks up the garbage from the streets and makes sure that things are neat and clean. We may not directly be dealing with that person, but he is doing what he is doing for us. So also all the people, every small and big person in the world is helping us in some way. That gratitude we must have. It's very easy for the mind to forget these things and become ungrateful. It is very common. The mind is made of ego. Mind is very capable of forgetting these good things very quickly. So you have to remind mind every day. A prayer has to be made every day, and mind has to be taught to be grateful. Because ingratitude is the worst sin. And that we as Indians or as humans should never ever entertain. That will give us abundance, because once you are grateful, the gods get pleased, they say, and they give back more. Like he was saying, Draupadi gave a piece of sari and in turn received so an abundance of that supply which helped her save her honor. Likewise, anything little we do with gratitude to God, God is pleased. The divinity is pleased, and so much more comes back to us. Not that we should do only because we are expecting so much more. Like our devotees who climb up the hill, we'll give 10%, 90% we should earn. Not that kind of, this is not a bargain or a business. Simply out of your purity, pure sense of gratitude, you offer something to God. Now, where does God exist? In temples? Yeah, of course. But God exists in all. Daivam Manusha Rupena. Every human being is a God. So help humans. Oh my God, this bird. Help humans. This bird is not going to leave Premamrutham. I can see that. These 4 of them actually. So, idea is that you must express gratitude because you want to express, because your heart feels so, you feel grateful. This is not a business that I'll give God so much and He'll give me so much in return. That's how it does not work. I have one story I'll share, because a lot of people said we like it when you share stories from your own life. They are practical, we can understand them better. Once upon a time when I was a student, it so happened that I was given the charge of looking after the Vice Chancellor of the university when he had come to Whitefield campus. So I am supposed to take his coffee, tea and his breakfast and things like that. So I was serving. So one of the teachers who was in charge and who would tell us what to do. So one afternoon tea was made and I was given whatever the flask and the things, and I was to go to his room and give him the tea, serve him and then come back. So when I was leaving, the teacher told me, do you know why Bhagavan gives these opportunities to students to go and do this kind of little seva? I said, I don't know, they are guests, so we are supposed to serve. He said, that's true, but he could have as well told anybody. He could have told a Seva Dal, or he could have called up, or even a catering agency that could have done this job. Why he told that students only should go and serve? I said, I don't know. Then the teacher said, once it so happened that a boy was there. And I believe this teacher was also there, and there was something like this going on where serving was going on, and Bhagavan was there. And Bhagavan wanted this fellow to bring a jug of water. Somebody else was going, he said, no, you go and get the jug of water and serve water. So he went and got and served water to the guests. That's it, that ended there. It was nothing very special about it, He could tell anybody, he told this boy to get it. This boy went home for holidays, met with an accident, a terrible one. But somehow he survived, and then finally when he just go and fetch me some water from there. While there were others going, I stopped them and said, no, you in person, you go and get it. Because I had foreseen that you are going to meet with an accident. And that time I thought, how will I save him? I must know what he has done for me, or what he has done, what seva he has done, against which I can bless him with grace. So I made him alone go to fetch the water jug so that I could, against this seva, bless him and save him from dying. Like Draupadi, who tied the piece of sari and got all the grace in abundance. So he was particular that this boy goes in that. So this teacher was telling me, you have been chosen to do this work not without a reason. This opportunity to serve. And I'm not serving Bhagavan, I'm serving Vice Chancellor or whoever the guest is. But He creates these small opportunities for us to serve so that we can do something in our limited capacity. As students, what can you do? You can't donate millions and billions. You can't build infrastructure. You can't run institutions. You are just a student after all. But even there, he gives these small opportunities for us to redeem ourselves, to do something against which he can bless us. That is what was the logic. I was still serving the tea, but now with greater awareness. Earlier I was serving because I was serving, but now I understood it's not just a service, it's an opportunity created on purpose by him for me to do something. So that, and not that I need to calculate like this, but someday if I need that grace, he will have a reason, an excuse to give it to us. Like a farmer sows only one seed in the soil, but that grows into a tree and so many fruits and so many seeds. Disproportionate grace, that is. For one seed you receive so many fruits. Is it not unfair? For one seed you should receive one fruit, is it fair? But God is always unfair in his disproportionately gracing us. Human beings are calculative. How much he gave, how much I should give, okay, 10% extra. God works another way. You give a little, abundance comes back to. That is when earth gives us fruits like this, crops like this, for little effort of us. By sowing one grain, we receive so many grains. By sowing one seed, we receive so many fruits and seeds. That is God. That disproportionate grace is only possible for a divine being. Human beings always calculate. But whenever such an opportunity arises, next time you open a door for somebody behind you, you serve somebody a glass of water, you come and chant Vedas, you sing a bhajan for everyone, you put the carpet in the auditorium, you set up the lights and mics, you clean up the place, you do anything, remember this. Do it with the attitude of seva. And these are opportunities created for you, so that one day when you need this grace, it will be there for you. It will be there for you. Another incident I'll tell you and close with that. One more boy was there. When Bhagavan was going to Kodaikanal, he was crying because he was not being taken to Kodaikanal. We were all there in the trip, but he wasn't there. And he was very upset and actually sad. So he was having some access to, he went and told him that, why are you not taking me to Kodaikanal? And then Bhagavan told him, I looked at all the people whom I was taking, and then I looked at their bank balance. Not the bank balance of the money, the karma bank balance. And I realized that your karmas have almost come to an end. You are exhausting all the good karmas. If I take you to Kodaikanal, whatever that little balance is remaining, will get over with that. And then if you need this grace in the future, I will not be able to support you. So you have to do some good quickly, so that you are able to again replenish your account of good karmas, so that I can take you. That is why I am not taking you to Kodaikanal. But then this boy said, Bhagavan, other banks give only so much interest on the deposits, but you are the divine banker. You can always give me infinite interest and increase my balance. He was so pleased with this answer, he took him to Kodaikanal. Disproportionate grace. Disproportionate grace. That's what God can give you. This is what we have to do. Why we should do seva? That seva will help us someday. Somebody came and told Bhagavan, today is a seva day. Seva day means they'll go out and do some seva. He said, today is save a day. Because the only day is saved, the only day that is saved and not wasted is the day when you do seva. Any other day is a wasted day. When you only eat for yourself, enjoy for yourself, it's a wasted day. So your day is saved and you are saved along with the day when you do seva. So all these little opportunities, don't undermine them, don't underestimate the potential and the power of it. These are opportunities for us to redeem ourselves. And we should be grateful that these opportunities have been given. Whatever, howsoever small or little it may sound, everything is an opportunity created on purpose by design, not just like that. So that each one of us participate and redeem ourselves, especially at the time of crisis, because we don't know when bad times will come. So be very observant, be alert, be aware of this wonderful opportunity. More than anything else, be grateful for everything that you have received. we definitely have received disproportionately more than what we ever deserve. Nobody can say, I have received less than I deserve. This is only ego speaking, foolish arrogance speaking. Anybody who is wise will always be grateful with a head bent low in gratitude. Never will raise his head in arrogance and ego. Whenever you feel you got less than what you deserve, it's your ego. We always receive more than what we deserve because God is like that. He doesn't know mathematics, like mothers who don't know how to divide a chapati into equal halves. They always end up serving the bigger part to us, calling it half. Like that, God doesn't know my calculation in these matters. When He wants to grace you, He will grace you in abundance. But you should give Him one real reason to do so. That's all He wants. That one real reason could be just an act of service, an act of gratitude, and He will pour. So remember this as your life's mantra. Be grateful always for everything that comes our way. Be grateful. Even in bad times, be grateful because He has definitely reduced it and given it to us to the extent that we can handle. Not more, not less. Like a mother blows on the hot food, makes it cool and then feeds us. Like what even our karmas who are bad, which are going to affect us, He reduces the impact of it and then gives it to us only so much that we can bear it. So never doubt God's wisdom, never question God's love, and never ever calculate God's grace. It's always higher than what we deserve. Remember that. Just believe in it, that's it. Don't try to understand it. Just believe in it and you will experience this. So always be like that and be grateful. Sun God is one God, but then everything is God. You and I and everything is God. Everybody is doing something for us every day in known and unknown ways. So be grateful always. That will keep you humble. And wherever there is humility, there will be divinity there. So remember that and live your life in accordance with these great principles of our culture. May Sankranti bring happy tidings to everyone. The world is going through a very difficult time. But like the sun that rises upwards, northwards, may people's mind be elevated towards divinity so that they can see things clearly in the light of that divinity, that there is nobody who is other here. Everybody is ours. And therefore, harming anybody is harming ourselves. And helping anybody is helping ourselves. Let this wisdom dawn upon the minds of people, not only here, but everywhere across the world, especially those who have so much power in their hands. Let all of them attain this spiritual wisdom. Let God be gracious to us disproportionately as they always are. Let us be grateful to God disproportionately this time. And let us always live our life with humility and gratitude. With these words of blessings, I conclude.
सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे सर्वसुगुण सिंधवे सकल सुजन बंधवे गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमंगलम् दीन दुखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय दीन दुखित पोषकाय दान धर्म प्रेरकाय सर्वलोकहितरकाय सर्वमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय मन्दमङ्गलम् सत्य साईनः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय सत्य साईनः प्रियाय सत्य प्रेम विग्रहाय नित्य शुद्ध निर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक पति महेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रितकल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धव ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवं मरियन्तयुनीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयुनीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेवा सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगलहारति अंदुको मंगलहारति अंदुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो